What up, Bucs fans? We are back. We are live on a Tuesday, a Taco Tuesday. How about that?
Random as
Real
hell.
Real Bucs talk here with you. Michael Plus, as always, joined by my co-host Mark Ramirez, and we are just delightful here. We're going to talk about the Buccaneers, 3-5, as we enter a new chapter. Let's say that as we get into the second season or the second half of the season. And hopefully this team can turn things around. Do they have the talent? Yes, they do. They have the players. That's no doubt about it on both sides of the ball. It's just little things that hopefully we show you tonight that there is promise, there's hope, try to be positive. I know lately on Twitter, Mark included, we've been kind of negative. We've been trying to, going down the dark side, but hopefully we can bring some light to the table here tonight.
Yeah, so guys, if you follow us on Twitter, if you're not following us on Twitter, go follow us. It's at Real Bucks Talk. It's kind of easy to remember what name that is. But hello to all you guys. I always love to see you guys in the chat talking it up. Yes, Krillin, like Krillin says, hit the like button, guys. Help support the channel. But at the end of the day, we are all fans, and we want to win. We want the best for this team. And if you see something on the field that you just don't want to endorse or don't like, not just the losing aspect of it, but lack of hustle, missed opportunities, poor plays, poor coaching, poor setup, and then repeated game after game after game. Like someone says, week after week, we're trying to put you in best position to succeed. You're not. And we just try and show that with video footage. I know other people can see it too, but it's just more stuff that we've got to get off our chests, right? I mean, this team is loaded, like Plus just said. There's plenty of talent. It's can the coaches put this talent in position to win? And there's a whole lot of drama going on. You had the Tom Brady divorce stuff going on. It's been lingering over his head. He plays a game, but the day before it kind of goes down, and people are still giving him crap for playing not to God level, like I guess many people expect him to play like. But we're gonna go over a couple things. If you guys are here early, the chat's not filled up that much, but let's go over a couple plays. I know people are saying tank, tank, tank. No, with the amount of caliber players you have in this team, I'm never going to say tank. If this was years back where there was no name quarterback, terrible coach, I don't really care about the coach or care about the team itself. No, there's a lot of players on this team that are Pro Bowlers, that are elite type of players, and they're not playing to their standard, and they're not playing executing football, and coaches aren't coaching their job. So let's actually break into some film. So this is the stuff that everyone likes to see, or down at left and right. Tom Brady. He didn't perform his best. No one will say that. Didn't look great at all, but break this down. Plus, what messed up? What did he do? What's going on here?
Well, this was actually a well-designed play where they did play action. You have two basically crossing routes with Godwin and Evans. Evans obviously wins his matchup. And guess what you're doing? You're creating space because of the run action. And obviously Mike Evans is open because you have a design play to get him open. Just unfortunate with the missed throw. I think Brady was obviously thinking, hey, let me just lay this one up here for Mike so he doesn't drop it, but obviously, put too much on it and led him out of bounds. So that's something you don't want to see. And these are the type of things that has to be cleaned up. Absolutely. And this is one of the few times where they actually designed the play properly to get this kind of separation. I mean, how many times do we see Mike Evans get this wide open? Not often, right? Usually you have to make a tight window throw or a high difficulty throw. I mean, this was a good play, and you need to see more of it.
Yeah, it is frustrating to see him miss this because he's wide the hell open. I mean, there's no one over there. There's nothing but space. The safety ended up going with Godwin because the game before he had every damn target known to man. It's wide open. It's a gimme. It's a touchdown. Brady just missed it. I mean, yeah, maybe Mike Evans can make a miraculous toe tap or toe drag, but it didn't happen. But the reality of it, we scored in this drive. We ended up scoring. Who the hell cares if it happened then or it happened 4 plays later? The end result, you want to score a touchdown, and they did in that drive. So I'm not going to get too mad at that, even though it is bad by Brady. He got to execute this. Now, this is another incompletion to Brady or to Mike Evans from Brady, but tell me about this high-level throw and how hard this is to complete and why this is what the Buccaneers offensive coordinator asked Brady to do on a week in and week out basis. Hence, quotes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and this is unfortunate. I mean, this is what Brady usually has to complete on, most downs because this offense doesn't really scheme guys open like we've seen at times. I mean, it's just inconsistent with it. So you're asking your quarterback to make these kind of throws, and usually Tom Brady does make these throws because he's Tom Brady. And I think at times the offense relies on that too heavily. They're asking this guy to be perfect, and he's just not. That's not the case. But this is the right read. Obviously, you have Mike Evans one on one. You're expecting Tom to put this in a very small window where Mike can make this play. Now your other options, maybe you throw it to Julio Jones in the flat,
Yeah.
but still, this is you read touchdown to check down, and obviously he read touchdown. He has it, but it just again, it's the accuracy just wasn't there. But again, look at what you're asking
Yeah.
for. You're trying to drop this into a pin needle, pretty much. I mean, that's tough to do.
Yeah. And this is the crap that people, oh, Tom Brady sucked. He sucked. This is an elite level throw. Kyle Trask ain't making this damn throw. This is an opposite hash throw. He's reading the safety. Where is he going to go? Is he going to come in close? Is he going to be one-on-one versus Mike Evans? Oh, hell, if it's one-on-one, I'm going with my guy all day. And look at this. The timing on it, he's getting rid of it right now as Mike Evans making the cut. Tom Brady sucks. Just sucks ass. And then, yes, it's not the most accurate pass, but it's going right towards the pylon. It's going where it needs to be. The timing's off just slightly, but the amount of, the ability to make this throw is insane. To get it on a line like that, because if he undercuts this and tries to drive it, this guy can probably come underneath and knock it down. So
Right.
it's a timing throw. It's an elite level passing throw. It just didn't happen. Okay, guys. So you can't get mad at this one necessarily. Yes, it's usually a throw he makes, but you're comparing him to like God level, and then I don't know who else. And he is a real guy. He's a real human being. He's going through a lot of shit. And then you see throws like this. This guy's right here in the throwing window. Brady knows he's going to throw this guy open. This is insanity. This is the biggest play of the first drive. And then Godwin kind of makes a break tackle there. Huge gainer. But this is all because of Brady knowing where the hell the guy's going to be. A younger quarterback, a guy doesn't know how to throw into space. They're not making this throw. This is how Brady can win you games and will win you games if you give him the opportunity to and setting it up well. But we're just not doing that on a week and week basis. I'm going to keep saying that.
No, I agreed. And again, this was another good play because you're attacking the middle of the field. The play action is a nice concept. You bring in those linebackers a little bit, so that slight hesitation by number 40 is because of the play action. It holds that guy there. It gives enough time and space for Chris Godwin to come across that middle. But like you said, it's a ridiculous throw by Tom Brady. This is why he's the GOAT. And I think at times the offense relies on this too heavily to think that he's going to make these passes every single down. And it's just not the case. And that's why you need to do things where you scheme people open like you're going to see here, where you have motion, you have a quick screen, and obviously, Godwin's going to run it. And you look at the space. There's space there. You're out of shotgun. You fake the run to one direction, get those linebackers to move, and you get a nice big play because of it, or at least a considerable gain. And that's what you want to see from a Buccaneers offense, especially on 1st and 10.
And two huge concepts are just reasonings behind doing this quick pass. We saw this shit in 2020 when we won the Super Bowl. We had no running game as well. What do we do to create a running game? Quick passes like this. This was usually to Antonio Brown, Godwin. When Godwin was hurt, we had to do it to AB. But you didn't run the ball well, so you found ways to make an illusion of a running game. This is a running game. This is what our running game should be. And guess what? From the shotgun. I want to see this early and often. I'm tired of our I formation. If it's going to be I formation, it better be a play action fake. But I mean, shotgun, you can do play action RPOs too. But this should be our type of running game. And then also, I want to highlight Mr. 60, Nick Leverett. Look at the emotion. Look at the hustle. Look, he initially gets this guy. Oh, damn. And then Game Pass was just sucking, guys. So I'm sorry for the terrible quality. But he initially gets this guy and then drags him into the safety coming down underneath and just throws his ass to the ground. I love it. And then look at the passion. I'm starting now, ready to just take this job and run with it. That's what I want to see as my left guard. Luke Gedeke, he's going to get his opportunity again, but Nick Leverett, he took his opportunity, he ran with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can go to the next play. Definitely Leverett is a factor. And again, you'll see it here as we go to this next play. Same thing. You have a trips to the top of the screen. So obviously you're spreading out the defense. You're giving a look of a run to potentially the left side, with Fournette, lined up where he is. So again, just that little subtle fake there, it holds those people in place. You see 40 go to the left because of that small subtlety. It opens up the opportunity for Rashad Perriman to catch this ball, but also have a running lane. And you use the athleticism of your offensive line to get out in space and create blocks. Big play. And obviously, you get inside the red zone there. This is execution, but also making execution easier for your playmakers to make plays. That is something that needs to continue to take place. And we saw the Buccaneers do this over and over again, which was a great sign that, hey, it's working. Let's continue to attack a weakness. They ran it so much that eventually Baltimore said, no, we're not going to let you have it. And I think that was on the next play after this one to Rachaad White, gets stopped for no gain. But at least they're understanding, let's make them adjust and do something off of that. But the problem was Byron didn't do anything off of it later in the game, and that cost them.
And this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about with being simple. Simple, complex, then simple. What I mean by simple is this is the easiest of simple. You're just throwing a quick short pass to a wide receiver in the flats. That's as simple can get. You can't get an easier pass unless it's like just handing it off to the running back. But the complexity of it is you're doing a quick initial to Lenny Fournette, could be to Fournette. So complexity, they got to think.
Yeah.
What makes it even more simple is let the blockers do what they got to do. Just get in front, make it simple again. This guy just has to catch it and run behind his blockers. Simple, complex, simple. Make the defense think something. Don't just give away what the hell you're doing on every down, which Byron Leftwich seems to do, and especially that 2-point conversion, which I could not freaking believe that I saw that type of shit. And I didn't want to put it in there because I was so pissed about it. But this is the type of stuff we're talking about. They can do this stuff consistently. It's, do they get their pride out of the way and go and do it? Because they have the men that can execute the plays. It's who's calling those plays. It doesn't have to be these deep developing routes, these run plays where everyone knows where it's going to go. Be simple, figure it out. I mean, it's not that hard. You did it for a quarter and then you ran away from it. It was 10-3 at the half.
Yeah.
I mean, the defense is good enough. We didn't even talk about the defense.
Yeah.
Devin White's another thing, but we're just talking about this shit show that is the offense.
Right. And guys, please hit that like button if you guys liked what you saw there. Obviously, that's just a little bit of what we, like to dive into, and hopefully, probably by tomorrow sometime we'll have more film out of more aspects and more things that we want to dive into. But first of all, I just want to shout out all you guys that are in here. We appreciate you. Again, please hit that like button. So Ken Barrett, thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Have us on the big screen. Much love to you, man. G Vegas, good to see you. It's been a while. He asked, with all the non-moves the Bucs have done, does this put more pressure on the coaching staff? Yeah, I would say so. Mark, I'll let you touch on that.
Well, I mean, and one thing you saw again on media outlets, why they didn't make any trades or anything, was because they're getting a lot of people back. I mean, you're getting potential Pro Bowlers and Akeem Hicks. I mean, not mess that one up. Akeem Hicks,
right?
Antoine Winfield Jr., Carlton Davis, potential SMB coming back as well. I mean, he's not a Pro Bowler, but bodies that know how to run in this defense. That's defensively, you're looking good. Offensively, you're looking for a healthier Julio Jones moving forward. So hopefully now you got a three-headed monster at wide receiver you can just throw to whoever the hell's open. And you saw Julio Jones was doing a pretty damn good job blocking in those quick throws as well. And to me, it's not necessarily an offensive skill position thing that's a problem. It's just the play call. If the play call gets fixed, and it's not necessarily just running like how Todd Bowles wants us to do, run out of shotgun. Like I said earlier, I don't want to see I form. And if you're going to manufacture a run, make it these quick passes. That's all I can say. I mean, it doesn't have to be dedicated. Let's bring Godwin over and run the ball. They got smarter with it. They started throwing with um, O'Keefe in there, and
Mhm.
it started working. But you got to be consistent with it. You can't go back to your bull crap that you do usually. And hopefully things change because this literally feels like a bye week because I feel like we do nothing but lose, and I
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
can't get that bad taste out of my mouth.
Yeah. Chris Cole in here. We appreciate you, man. Everyone is blaming the defense and White, but it was the offense not keeping the defense off the field. Yeah, I mean, it's complementary football. That's something that the Bucs have definitely struggled with so far this season. Bud Campbell talks about Leverett starting Sunday. Yeah, he's going to be the starter this week. Giddicky will not be back, for this week coming up. So pretty sure Leverett's going to be in there. Uh, Swords and Cannons Bucks podcast. Good to see you in here. He says shotgun isn't effective for PA if you're running read or RPO. Yes, but that's not our offense. I think play action can work regardless. Again, it's giving that illusion of the formation and keeping defenders honest. And I think that's something that the Bucks have to start doing. I mean, you see the slight hesitation
Yeah,
just with
you
Lenny
just showed
back there.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're basically showing it, and it's needed. It's definitely needed. You got to have some type of threat. And then G Vegas talks about the offense not having excuses. We agree. I mean, again, the talent is there. The talent has been in this offense for, like he says, over 2 years. There's something to be said there, and you have to get it done. Um, so, Swords and Cannons talks about, but if they can't do simple shit right, complicating things make it worse, especially with the lack in O line. Yeah, I mean, I think they need to call the simple things more. I think you would agree with that, Mark. They just you got to keep it more basic, and I think they've shown that they can do the simple stuff. They just don't call it enough.
Well, like what I'm trying to say with simple, complex, simple, it's not necessarily throw a crazy complex play. It's just making a simple play with a complexity in it.
Mm,
So like a play action, just that little illusion will cause a defense to think. Dragging a person over, or let it be the Godwin dragging over like he always likes to do. Giving the illusion it's another run, but then again, you do a short pass the other way. Complexity.
mm,
Or like they did, throwing it to Perriman. I even during the game said, "Holy shit! I didn't know Perriman could do that." That's a simple little wrinkle that you threw in there. That normally he's a deep guy. Oh shit! He just got a short pass and got 16 yards off the play.
mm,
Simple, complex, simple. It's just not making a complex play where you're making Tom Brady throw a corner route 30
yeah,
yards off of like hell of a perfect pass that he's gonna have to make to get a touchdown. Simplify big time. That's all I'm looking for.
right,
Because you
right.
have the horses that can run it.
Yeah, and Krillin, always in here doing the people's work. We appreciate you, man. Yeah, I mean, Rashad definitely needs to get more touches, and that's something we'll definitely dive into this week at some point, especially the plays that he was able to make when he was in there. There's just more opportunities for the run game, especially if they have a guy that actually sees it correctly and runs it the right way. Right now, Lenny is just not getting it done as far as production, and he has opportunities to do so, but it's not making the most of it. So those are things that definitely need to be corrected going forward. Um, so yeah, I mean it starts with coaching, like we talked about. So we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, and then so let's address some other issues. I guess before we go to the defense,
Mhm.
let's see, swords and cans podcast said when we had AB, it was no issues with the time or connecting. Some wide receivers are just that good. AB was a phenomenal wide receiver,
Mhm.
phenomenal player when on the field. He's a head case regardless of all that. But once his mind was set to one thing, he was really good at it. He's really good at trying to terrorize Tom Brady as well. But at the end of the day, it's just players executing. I mean, there were times where Brady missed a throw to him too. He's not perfect. Guys never. We're not being a Tom Brady, I guess, extremist or apologist. It's nothing. It's just grading it how you see it. He missed some throws. He didn't play the greatest, and there's no reason for it. But there is a reason. A lot of
Yeah.
shit's going on in his personal life, but he still. What blows my mind is that people think he needs to be making deeper throws, pushing it more. a la Jameis Winston. That blows my damn mind.
Yeah.
And even our media was asking, should he be doing this? I'm like, do you really want to be talking about that? Whether you like it or not, we're still in the games, even though the offense can't move at all. Do I think it's Tom Brady handcuffing us? No. I think he can still make plays. I mean, there were still balls that Mike Evans dropped in this game. There were still plays that were there that just didn't happen. Either it be play call or lack of execution from players, not just Tom Brady. So it's just that's the name of the game. If you're the quarterback, you're going to get the most looks. But play caller's got to set them up to be in position to succeed, and he's not doing it, even though he says he does every week in, week out. We say that again.
Right. No, agreed. And that's my biggest thing. You're asking these guys, and I talked about it today. I think I put it on Twitter, that the degree of difficulty to execute for these guys is at a very high level, because you're not creating space. You're not getting the easy throws where guys are wide open, like literally wide open, like creating that separation. We saw it once on that first play we talked about with Evans in the end zone. We don't get that consistent separation, the communication, the separation, the guys designing to create space for others. That's just not happening on a lot of plays. And you're asking Tom Brady, who we forget is 45 years old, and you're asking a lot of him to make these type of throws where, yes, maybe last year he did, but like you said, I mean, he wasn't going through the personal issues that he's going through right now. Now, granted, that's no excuse. He will probably, deny it. He'll say, I have a job to do. And yeah, but at the same time, you're asking these guys to execute at such a high level and very tight window throws, where you look across the league at other offenses, Josh Allen is getting throws to wide open people because they're getting schemed open, or he's, making a throw where guy has 5 yard separation because they designed it the right way. So we're not getting those kind of completions where you're allowed to, make plays after the catch
Consistently. That's the thing. Because there is, I mean, this is a great example. I'm going to bring it back up on the screen. Like you were just saying, where he misses to Evans. But this is what I'm talking about. Simple, complex, simple. What is so simple about the damn play? Literally, it's just Godwin doing a post, crossing across. That's literally the only concept you see. That's simple as shit. Just run your route. But why is it complex? Because you're running a little play action. What happens to play actions? Everyone's coming in because they think it's a running game. Look, O'Keefe's in there. Like I was saying, they're throwing out of a O'Keefe set. Holy shit. Everyone committed. So all you got to worry about is who's the safety going to go after? It makes it simple. Again, simple with a little complex wrinkle in it because O'Keefe's in there. They're doing a play action. That's the only plot complexity that they added to it. Just Tom Brady's going to make the throw. That's the only issue. There is aspects of that in the game or in the play call. Early on, at least it was. And then they went back to the same bull crap. But this is the stuff that they can do. They just don't do it consistently. And that's one thing they talk about time after time. But you got to set them up to be successful. You're not doing it. And you can do it. I just want to see it more.
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes back to, what are you doing to attack these opponents? And we talk about it's not a game plan of attacking an opponent's weakness consistently. And that's something we saw where they were actually running the screenplays to attack a weakness. They saw a hole in the Ravens defense, and they were attacking that hole consistently at a time. And then they just didn't do anything else to set something up for a bigger play or get a more explosive play off of that when the Ravens finally adjusted and kind of took that away from the offense. So there's things like that. The evolution of this offense to take that next step is understanding, okay, we're calling it a certain way. Let's just make a minor tweak that they talked about that hopefully is coming. Guys, the minor tweaks are coming. That maybe this is something that they will learn and try to implement in their game plan, where they're utilizing play action, they're running the ball out of shotgun, and continue to make it simple enough for these guys to execute at a more consistent rate. Right now, that's not happening. Now, people in the chat are talking about a lot of different things. Obviously, blocking issues, injuries. Yes, all that stuff plays a part. But still, this is a talented team. You have to understand who is on your team, who is your depth, who is your personnel that you have on the field at all times. And that is an issue that we're seeing consistently, where it comes into how you're utilizing your formations, your different personnel within those formations. Like, come on, guys. Like, we all know Julio Jones should not be running a reverse coming off a knee injury where we know he's not running full speed. There's no reason to call that play. It's understanding how to utilize your talent to the best of their ability. We know Scotty Miller's a deep threat. Let him run deep. That's what he does best, right? So let him do that. And guess what? When they did, he got a pass interference call, got us to inside the 5. Stuff like that. It's like understanding who you have on the field, understanding that Rachaad White is a better runner than Lenny Fournette. Let Rachaad White run the ball. Let him play running back because he's the better running back than said Lenny Fournette. Coaching, Nick Leverett could be better than Luke Gedeke. Put him in the game. So it's little things like that, holding the offense accountable. You gotta do that.
And let's see, maybe this little come together for 10 days, they figured that out. Maybe that helps Tom Brady's headspace. Maybe this Todd Bowles did actually talk to Byron Leftwich and say, listen, we got to fix this stuff up. Hey, that's another thing I want to talk on. Before we even talk about the defense, it all starts up top. I mean, because a lot of people say, yeah, Leftwich needs the boot, fire Leftwich. And I'm with that crowd. But they also throw in, fire Todd Bowles. He's trash, terrible coach. That's something I want to talk on. So we probably should have started with that. But Todd Bowles, is it really his fault? And was BA really that big of an influence? That's my biggest question. Because, BA is more of a rah-rah guy, more of a passionate, like immediately after the game, he's going to give you some sound clips and stuff good that media is going to eat up. Todd Bowles is just generic. Just, we got to do better. I mean, we're not showing it. We're not earning it. We're not doing that. And like, he doesn't give you much. He doesn't give you much emotion. A huge difference from BA. Is it his fault that offense looks as bad? No. I mean, this is crap we've seen in the past, and we talked about it. Like Robert Green and all of us were talking in our messages on Twitter. It's like this is the same like Leftwich offense. It just doesn't have as elite players and elite offensive line as it had in years past. It's just not being run correctly. He never uses players correctly. He did it in 2020 when we couldn't run the ball. He ran quick screens, but he didn't do it at all consistently in the last game. It just, when is it going to wake up? When is his eyes going to open up and realize what it is? But let me shut up and let me ask you, is it Todd Bowles' reasoning behind the offense? Is it Todd Bowles' reasoning behind this team just not playing with a mean streak mentality, like Devin White kind of loafing in some plays, and then him saying, oh, well, Devin White's not the issue. That kind of irked me too. So what is your take on all that?
Yeah, I mean, it's
guys in the chat too. Give us your opinion because this is a big one too.
It's complicated because, and this is, I guess this is like the theme for the team right now. It's complicated. That's what we have to go off of. I mean, Tom, going through a divorce is complicated. So there's a lot of issues on both sides of the ball. I think, defensively, obviously it's played better than the offense for sure, more consistent as far as, holding teams to a certain amount of points and obviously keeping us in the game as long as they can until they run out of gas, literally, aka Devin White, I guess. So there's a lot of issues at hand offensively as far as the play calling and I guess you can say the movement of the team or how they like to attack the defense. That's still Byron Leftwich. I mean, Byron has got the control of the offense. It's his offense to run. He's making the calls out there. He's designing the game plan. Now, does Todd have, authority on like 4th and short and those kind of situations and game management? Absolutely. And some of that has been not very good. There's times where he needs to go for it, and there's times where he shouldn't have gone for it. Um, even last week, I think it was in the second half, he should have went for it on 4th and 2. They decided not to, and that was a big turning point in the game. So, yeah, I mean, Todd has to be better in those situations as far as a head coach, and I think for him as a head coach, he's got to understand that, and maybe he does this behind the scenes. I don't know. Maybe he does talk to Devin White and bring him aside and say, "Hey, this is not good enough." And maybe to the media, he just doesn't portray
Yeah.
that. You know, maybe there's just some things he likes to keep close to the vest. But from that standpoint, he has to understand that this is his team, not just the defense. He's not just a defense coordinator. He owns the whole team, and he has to make sure the offense stays accountable. And that includes making sure his coaching staff is accountable as well, and putting these guys in the best position to be successful week in and week out. And he even said that in his press conference, talking about we need to run the football more. Is that going to be one of the minor tweaks we see? Or is this team going to start running the ball 20, 25, 30 times a game? I mean, I don't know. Again, we're dead last in rushing. I don't know if that's the answer. So are you going to figure that out? Are you going to run out of shotgun more and understand that the better running back is Rachaad White and you're going to play him going forward? Remains to be seen. And that goes into accountability as far as the head coach. So I wouldn't say he's doing a great job, obviously not, being 3-5. There's things he's got to improve himself. And you got to understand you own the whole team, and the team has to be better, players and coaches, but it starts with the coaching staff because you're the ones that put these players where they need to be.
Yeah, and that is why it is a complicated answer. Because, as fans, we just eat up what the media says, and the media is trying to poke and pry for an answer or a blurb that they want to put out. I was the first to put this shit out.
Mhm.
Maybe he just doesn't want to give him that. And maybe BA just accidentally would give him more just based off of emotion. Todd Bowles maybe is more reserved. And like you said, maybe he did just go off to the side and say, Devin, you shitting me? I see this on film.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to put you down in front of the world, but geez, come on. Like, maybe he does do that. I mean, we've seen him talk saying, oh, no, we're going to talk to Byron Leftwich. I got to talk to him because it's not working. Like, the first 2 games of this slaughterhouse 3-game losing streak, you kind of let it go. He's like, oh, well we're going to improve. There's things we're just not executing on. And then this last one, he's like, no, we're going to have a little talk in this 10-day span. That's me seeing him kind of give it out a little bit more, saying, no, it's not just the defense. This offense got to do something. And Leftwich is the leader of it. So we got to do better as coaches.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling you what you got to do. They're just not doing it. And I'm not going to get totally mad at him. Maybe BA gave a little bit more kick in the ass than Bowles gave, but I'm not going to totally blame him and say fire him, fire the whole thing. But the sad thing is, they're so close knit that he's not going to fire Leftwich at any point. I don't think he ever will. And if it will push come to shove, they're going to have to fire the whole entire staff if they're going to fire Leftwich, which is crazy, and it almost means like a whole restart all over. And that's why I kind of said that on Twitter after the game. It's like it's not just one of them. You're going to fire all of them because you're that close knit.
Oh yeah, I mean they're a very loyal staff, and loyal is not a bad thing, but it can also lead to problems, especially being too loyal. Too loyal could, because it blinds you. It blinds you from making the right choices, making the right decisions, making the necessary tough choices to better yourself, to better your organization when you're too loyal. And I know from personal experience, I've myself at times have been too loyal, and it blocks me from making the right decisions that need to be made. So from talking out of experience, yeah, I can understand where Todd Bowles probably, like you said, he's going to remain loyal to his guys, and ultimately it could be his downfall because that's his decision. And yeah, I mean it's got to be better. It's something that he has to understand, that you're not the defense coordinator anymore. It's a different title, and you can't make the mistakes that you made in New York, because right now they're coming to fruition, because you're not holding all the phases of the team accountable. Now, I will give him credit. The special teams looked a lot better, especially in the return game. I was proud of Jalen Darden. The guy got he got some marbles. He actually went north and south, and he set up the outside runs because he went north and south. So I was proud of him. He had a very good game, and so far he's had a pretty decent season. Outside of the unfortunate D Delaney and him fumbling, but he's been good.
I mean, so he needs to just see the entire football staff as his players. I mean, he made the decision to take SMB out of the nickel corner position and put Antoine Winfield Jr. in there. You can do the exact same shit with Leftwich. I mean, you can literally say, okay, well, we're not going to go with that style no more. Goodwin, guess what? You're a running type of coordinator. You like the running game. You know how to coordinate that. Maybe we'll put you in there and just get rid of Leftwich, and then we'll figure it out after that. They had to have had a different plan. I mean, Leftwich almost had the Jaguars job. Who was plan B? That's what I want to know. Because right now, if you do another dud against the Rams, who literally just know how to abuse the Bucs defense, if you put up another dud on that, you could have a slaughterhouse this week again.
Yeah.
Which would look terrible. And I don't want to see it. I want to be looking on the up, because it is possible Leftwich can run an offense that works well. I mean, he's done it in the past. Open your damn eyes and do it. And it's not all on Brady, not all on Leftwich, not all on the offensive line. A lot of it is on Leftwich. Because he can fix a lot of their, I guess, not pitfalls, but areas where they're not as strong. Yeah. Like at that left guard position, like at the tight end position, like as in players that are hurt. You can hide these things by doing other things. He just doesn't do that. He does some same shit, even with guys or lesser talent. He's got to be a coach.
Yeah, and in the chat, that's been one of the the topics. There's been injuries, there's been blocking issues, but there's certain things like you just said you can. No, we weren't going to trade for which so was the red pin reel. Oh yeah, it probably was. But yeah, I mean, blocking, and you can create time for your quarterback. And obviously Tom gets rid of the football so quickly. There's certain things you can do scheme wise to create a pocket for Tom Brady to give him more time. Do we do that? No. Have we ever seen where we move the pocket for Tom Brady? Not really, not often. There's things you can do where you roll him out, give him more time, max protect, play action. Look at how much time we get off of play action because you're setting up a pause for the pass rush, and you're getting more time to throw the ball downfield. So there's all sorts of different things you can do. Running the ball out of shotgun, a lot of screens, quick passes, slants, different route concepts. And I think that's another thing that we haven't touched on, where I talk about separation, and I think one of the people in the chat mentioned it, where is the receivers just not getting separation, or are we just not scheming them open? Well, it's a combination of both. First, I think they're not getting separation because the defense knows their routes already. That's a problem. That's a problem when the defense knows your routes, because you're pretty much running the same plays every week. And by this time they caught up. They know who we are.
And they were who we thought they were.
Yeah, like Dennis Green. So when you know what we're running, it makes it twice as hard. And that's why Tom Brady pretty much has to be perfect, because you're asking him to make these needle type throws into, hard windows every time, because you're not doing anything to create that space or to create the separation. You're not doing anything differently. We don't see a lot of double moves. We don't see a lot of pick plays. There's not much from the use of play action, as we talked about. And again, all of this stuff they have shown, but they do it in spurts and not enough. So when you look at it from that standpoint, there's a lot to offer when it comes to this offense. It's something that it can be fixed pretty easily if they just stick to one type of concept, or maybe a few concepts, and build an identity and understand, hey, this is who we're going to be, and we're going to run it until it's perfect, and we're going to dominate because of it.
Because this is the big thing. So we say it a lot, but I don't think people really grasp it. I mean, the defense, any defense. That's why you usually hear these guys say, "We got to read our keys and execute." Guys need to be where they need to be. They are reactionary. Defense is a reactionary piece. They're not going to go all Superman and think, "Oh, I can make this play because I know where it's going to be." No, you got to base it off of what you're reading in front of you. So they're not going to just fly to an area unless it's a blitzer. Okay, yeah, they have one job, but the thing is, someone else has to move into the space where the other guy left. It's all reactionary. So if the offense knows what the hell's going on, they should be at an advantage. But the defense already sees a concept that they've seen over and over in tape, and they just attack it. We need to be a little bit more deceptive. That's why some of these plays that work are where you're going the same damn formation you usually do, but you did something different. It doesn't have to be every time that Leftwich has no vision. It doesn't, because he'll run the same, like the 2-point conversion. That everyone knew that. Everyone knew. If you didn't know that, you're not a Buck fan. You don't watch enough Buck football then. And you're clearly not an NFL defense because they all know. Pump that wide out screen and take a shot. Yeah, and that's something you set up. That is something you set up over the course of a game. We've seen it happen in the past where Mike Evans did a double move, like a comeback go, and it worked to perfection a few years ago. But a lot of this is sequencing of how Leftwich calls it. I mean, the defense is going to see something and they're going to react to it. You got to just scheme it up where they're going to react to what you're throwing shit at them. Because like running, the one play that didn't work, that was a screen, quick dummy screen to the running back. You literally sent out your only out. You gave away, it was a play action. You gave away, it was a run because you said, "Oh no, Rashad White, go outside."
Yeah.
You had no other option to run. So they're not going to think it could be a run. If he stayed in there and you sent someone else over there, it could have worked. You gave no allusion to anything else besides either a deep pass or a short pass. And they called you out on it. And then it didn't work. Oh, let's get away from it. It got stopped once. That is stupid football. And it just can't happen. And it was the third screen in a row. Yes, but it was even dumber because there was no one else back there to give an illusion of it was a run. Because if they attack one side too fast, the running game's going to work. And they just didn't do it. It was stupid all around. I couldn't believe what I saw. And let's get away from it now because of that.
Yeah, it was it wasn't good. It wasn't good. And again, it's how are you designing these plays? How are you creating opportunities for your best playmakers to make plays more consistently? Yes, we see Mike Evans he had 9 catches or something like that for almost 100 yards. But what are you doing to get him involved? What are you doing to give him easier opportunities to make more plays and create those wide open red zone throws for him to make plays? So all that ties in together. How are you utilizing him and Godwin on the same, on the field and opening things up for them both? Yes, Godwin obviously looks like, the underneath guy. He catches a lot of things over the middle, which is good, but you have to continue to use him in different ways where you're getting him more open, maybe letting him run more on the outside and create options that way, run down the field and have Mike Evans go over the middle. It's mixing things up with your other personnel to make things easier. Kate Otten, Rashad White, stuff like that. Use them up the seams and the flats, different varieties. It makes it that much better.
Yeah, and it's stuff that we've seen a double screen on both sides of the field, and Brady would choose it to see which side he would want it to go to.
Yeah.
You've seen it in the past, but it's just not happening. And that's a play call situation that where was it earlier was saying that, see, it's not a play call. No, that's a coaching issue. Brady's not drawing it up. He's just running what's in front of him. His choice is what is based off of the decision the OC made. And if he's saying, "Oh shit, this is my only option," I either run and try and scramble, which I don't do well, or I throw this ball away, or I take a sack. He's just a manager. The offensive coordinator is drawing it up for him to be successful. There's only so much Brady can make you look good. And like the fact that we're downing him as fans, come on now. He's already getting enough shit. I mean, he had 325 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. He got sacked 3 times, and a lot of those were coverage sacks. It wasn't necessarily they broke free and got in. Just, hey, I see a 0 in the interceptions that's keeping me in the game. You still only lost by freaking 5 points. Offense does anything in the second half, you're looking good. But I mean, it all starts with our offense. The defense, if they are actually, let's transition on this because we're talking enough about Leftwich offense and shit. The running game, yes. Hopefully you see us changing in running backs, but hopefully you don't. Hopefully you just see them used differently. I don't necessarily care who the hell's a lead back, who's not. I just want to see them used differently. That's it.
Yeah.
Let's move over to defense. What's the problem with the defense? Plus, is it bad? Is it the offensive inconsistencies is bothering the defensive stamina? I guess that's making them bored on the field. What do you think?
Yeah, it's the defense is more. I don't know. It's weird on the defense because, well, it hurts because they're a little more injured on that side. Obviously, the injuries to Logan Ryan, I think, is a huge loss. Not having him back there in the secondary, he was pretty much calming everything down, making sure communication, all those things were in the place. He allowed Devin White to go up the field more because he would take the spot or take up the void that he was leaving in the middle of the field so they could play him more aggressive. And then, obviously not having Antoine Winfield, Carlton Davis, Sean Murphy Bunting, getting those guys back obviously will be a big boost. Getting Akeem Hicks back will be a big boost to the defense. On the flip side, you lose Shaq Barrett for the whole season. That sucks. Losing him to a torn Achilles, and now his play for next year comes into question. So that's a big loss. But other guys are going to have to step up. As far as what I see on defense, it's just run defense. It's a 1-2. It's also an alignment issue. Guys have to be in the right spots. You have to scheme that properly. They're not doing a good job of, I guess, scheming a way to get their linebackers free. Their linebackers right now are getting held up or getting blocked up pretty much because the opposing offenses are understanding, okay, we are going to scheme it a certain way so we can go attack the Bucs linebackers and prevent them from getting downhill. Now, some of that is just bad play, aka Devin White, where he's just not hitting the hole fast enough or not getting to his spot where he needs to be, and he's getting blocked. But some of that is the front four not being in the proper position alignment wise to help these guys get free like they have in the past. So it's little things, missed tackles, Keanu Neal missing tackles, one-on-one tackles have been an issue. Guys not wrapping up, guys not flying to the football. That goes back to effort. And obviously everyone's seen the play where Devin is, just not going. And you get outrun by JTS and Logan Hall, who were further away from the football. Or guys just making the wrong angles. Zion McCollum going to the inside where he should stay on the outside, force a guy back in to his help. So there's a lot of different factors from a run defensive standpoint. Pass defense, I think they've been okay. They haven't really allowed many big plays down the field. Pass rush has been kind of up and down, but it's also how are you calling it? How are you letting these guys rush? So long-winded answer there, but they just have to clean up little things, and it will start with getting those guys back, obviously.
So, I mean, defensively, it starts up front, and to that answer, yeah, you lose Shaq Barrett. To be honest, they don't give two shits about edge rushers, clearly. They just don't. I mean, they clearly said it when BA got hired. We like to get pressure in the middle through the A-gap blitzes from the linebackers. Edge rushers feed off of that inside pressure. They already told us it. We just keep fighting it. It is what it is. They don't care. They care about their defensive tackles getting pressure, clogging holes so their inside linebackers can force the quarterback outside. That's what they care about. But coming back to that, how much is Sue being missed because he's not taking up blockers? I mean, you lost Akeem Hicks, so you don't really know, was he going to be that much better? Was he going to be that much of an improvement too? Was he going to bring the same thing Sue did? We don't know because he was out so quick after game 2?
Yeah.
So maybe that is what it is. Maybe, yeah, Nacho's never going to be that caliber player to be used that consistently, but William Golson hasn't been popping off either. because usually you see Levante and Devin White in the backfield. We haven't seen that often at all.
No.
I haven't seen many tackles for loss at all. Not just sacks, but stopping a ball carrier in the backfield. And they get those opportunities because the gaps are wide the hell open. They can fly in. Sue was really good at that. I gave him so much credit for that. And so many damn fans. He takes plays off. He's just mean. He's nasty. He's shitty. What do you think now? Like, he was a good player. He did his job well. He just didn't give you that much inside pressure. They were hoping Hicks could do that, and he's been on the sideline because of an injury. Maybe that comes back, and you see some exciting things because he can bring that, but it remains to be seen. That's what it starts up front with. If he's in there getting pressure, Devin White's going to look better. This just shows how much Devin White relies on that front four to help him out. Our front seven's dynamic because that front four was taking up that much in front of him. The trash was out of the way. He could just go and get it.
Yeah.
Clearly, Devin White isn't a Superman. He needed help. It's a team defense. Devin White just produced because of people around him.
Yeah.
We just need to get back to that and healthy in that fashion too.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, and that's where it starts, this defense, you have to be in your assignment. You have to play your assignment the right way. You have to fill your gaps. You have to be lined correctly. And you have to, I think Josh Quapo talked about it, get back to two gapping. And yeah, maybe they need to start doing that where you're playing it simpler on that side as well, allowing your front seven to get upfield and be aggressive, and also let them rush the damn passer. Don't drop back JTS every freaking down and think he's a linebacker out there, covering wide receivers. And, same thing with Shaq Barrett. And a lot of people talked about Shaq Barrett and his, I guess, lack of production, but I thought he was having a pretty good season. When he was allowed to rush, he did get pressure. And that's something that they need to start doing. And that's why I talk about Todd Bowles and having accountability of the whole team. Let these guys be their best selves. And Vita Vea is another one that has to step up. You got to be able to command that center of the field. You have to be able to command the double teams and hold that point of attack. You can't be pushed off the ball. That's not your game. You have to get upfield and make disruption. And obviously getting Akeem Hicks back, that will definitely help in that area, having that tag team partner to help support, him, and also help support your outside edge rushers. So overall, the whole team as a defense need to be collectively better attacking the football and making sure they're in the right spots. But really, it's just, you got to do your job. And I think too many times guys are just not doing their job, being in the right spot.
But a lot of that, it's not complimentary. I mean, they're tired. I mean, the first
Well,
half,
yeah,
3 points. So
for
they
sure.
did their job.
For sure.
Second half, you get tired and you start getting lazy. You start trying to do too much. Like Vita Vea, second half, he started trying to do too much. Devin White, maybe he just got tired. I don't know. Like, there's no reason for some of the crap he did. I mean, you can get off of a block. You don't just get pummeled and thrown to the ground.
Right.
And the big reason why I give Devin White so much crap, some of the comments you make, you're going to pay for that. I mean, if you're going to act like that, you better act like that every game. And you're not doing that. You're not bigger than the game. Let's put it that way. And you're trying to act like that. And if you're a captain, you better show that you're a captain every damn down, not one play where you made a sack or one play where you made big play. It's a consistent effort because everyone's looking at you. You're the leader, and you can't show crap like that. That's why, to me, Todd Bowles should have said, you know what? Yeah, I addressed that. It's done. That's what I wanted to hear. But who cares? Maybe he addressed it behind closed doors. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's why I give Devin White crap. And he's not bigger than the game. He's not bigger than our whole 11 players working as one as a defense. They all have to run towards the ball. Devin White's usually the faster guy that gets there first. Yes, he's great at that. But right now, when the defense is tired, they look like shit. I mean, rightfully so. You would too.
Yeah. And again, I would have to look. I really want to look at how the defense was called in the first half versus how it was called in the second half, and see if there's any differences there. Are they getting away from aggression, especially in the first half? Or is it just like you said, they're just getting tired because they're out there on the field the whole time? Is it certain adjustments that the offense is making against them where they're identifying, hey, we passed the ball way too much in the first half and we're just going to run it down their throats because their offense can't move the ball and they're going to be tired out? So there's things that I want to definitely look into and see if that is some type of tendency. But like we talked about, it's complementary football, and it's something the Bucs haven't done since probably the first two. Well, yeah, maybe just the first week, really. And even then, we didn't really score the ball because we had the blunders inside the red zone, and you had all those field goals. Against the Falcons, we showed spurts of it, but then the second half was trash, like usual. And then obviously the road games were not pretty. And then this last one, it was a slow death by the swords of Lamar Jackson and their running game. So
This is kind of crazy to see, though. I mean, in years past, we were using number 1 against the run.
right.
And then you look at here, we're number 6 against the pass.
Yeah,
pass 94 yards.
Pass defense has been fine.
And then look at where the rush defense, yards per game, we got to keep going down. That is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even going to do the number, but this is 32, and we're right there. It's not far away from 32.
Right.
It's incredible. And it's not like it's mainly Sue. Sue's gone. And then, yeah, you just lost Shaq Barrett, but
no, I mean, it's more than just player. I mean, it is the players, but it's also, I think some of it is where are you putting these guys and understanding your assignments, and you have to. It's a collective effort, and right now these guys are just not clicking as far as getting to the football, making sure they're in the right spots, getting off of blocks. And I know, yeah, when a center gets on a linebacker, that's tough to get off, but you got to find ways to do that. You have to find ways to get off your blocks. Corners have to get off blocks, safeties, etc. The front linemen have to do a better job of disengaging and making plays. So all of it has to improve in that asset. But I'm really not going to be unhappy with run defense. I think it's a passing league. So if you can stop the pass, I'm fine with the defense. There, you have to go out there and you have to make plays when it matters. So what I look at is third down defense, and that's something we can criticize. That's something that can be better because you're getting these teams in third down situations. You're not making the stops. So critical areas, third down defense, red zone defense. That's where you want to be.
I got to put this comment on there.
Oh yeah, Josh is great with his comedy.
Talking about Devin White, tight end blocked him, running back blocked him, my grandmother blocked him.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, everyone's probably seen the Warren Sapp talking about him. It's just stuff we all saw. He's just saying it, and now people are saying, "I don't want to hear what Warren Sapp has to say. He's a piece of crap." He's a football player, knows how to read football. Although his attitude was shit. Kind of same thing with Antonio Brown. His attitude shit, but you're still a great elite player, and you know what good looks like. You may not be able to know how to teach it, but you know what it looks like. So you can see what heart hustle is. He's shown it in the past. He's not showing it right now. I don't know what the hell that is. Maybe he was tired. I don't know. But it's not to the standard of what a good elite defense is, especially one that doesn't say that they're bored on the field. And you're only you're going to get that the rest of your career every game you do bad, based on him saying that. Yeah. And then especially the reaction after. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to make references every game that he messes up until he starts showing that he's not bored on the field. But defensively, to me, it's just that front four helping everyone behind them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have to be better.
Yeah, if he gets back in the game and Vita Vea and him can start wrecking games, everyone behind him, it's just going to fall into place. And that's something we talked about over the offseason. And that's an area where I was concerned, but if he's on the field, things will look better.
Yeah.
And we'll get off the field on third downs easier because Hicks is a better interior rusher. He just is. And if you have to worry about them two, David and White will be a lot more easier access to get in through those A gaps. But let's see. I mean, that's why I didn't make trades, and they weren't going to trade for an edge rusher. Just
no. No, they weren't going to make any trades again. It's they can't really give up assets right now. You need your draft picks, especially with what they're going into after this year. You have to have picks to restock and reload, and especially the cap situations that are coming up. They couldn't make trades. They couldn't trade for Bradley Chubb, even though that would have been nice. But you just can't do that, especially with just the contract you gave to Shaq Barrett. I know he's hurt now, which sucks, but you couldn't do things like that, especially giving up a first round pick for Bradley Chubb. That wasn't going to happen. So yeah, and plus whatever else they gave him. So we just didn't have the players to trade away. And yeah, it just that kind of stuff when I looked at it, and I know Twitter was upset with it, but there really wasn't much you could have done. And really, like we talked about, the changes that need to be made with this team comes internal. It's all internal. It starts with the coaching staff. It goes down to the players, certain players, and mainly on the defensive front, they have to be better. Offensive line has to be better. Will the offensive line be better now because of Nick Leverett in there? It looks to be that way. So hopefully that continues to progress and move forward. Will your skill position players continue to step up? Will you get healthier there with Russell Gage and other guys coming back? You have all these pieces. Now it's your coaching staff, mainly the offense, learn how to utilize them correctly and put them in the spots they need to be. Defensively, stay aggressive and get downfield, get after the quarterback. That's all you have to do. That's really it. And just continue to do that.
It sounds simple, but
Yeah.
they shoot themselves in the foot usually 9 times out of 10. And it's upsetting. But to be honest, look at all the guys you named on offense.
Mhm.
I mean, you could use Gage in the backfield. You can use Rashad White in the outside. You can do whatever the hell you want. It's just how do you draw it up? How do you scheme it up? How do you get your guys in the best possible position to be successful? Like he talks about week in and week out.
Yeah.
I mean, a majority of the offensive issues is Leftwich. Early on, maybe it was execution because Gedeke was just a damn open door at times.
Yep.
But you seem to have found the fix. Let's move forward, okay? Winning every game from now on. Let's fucking go.
I love it.
I hope so. I hope that's the motto because
let's do it.
There's another one. I will start saying let's start tanking, but
13 games in a row, it can be done. Let's do it. Can you imagine Tom Brady goes out on top after 13 wins in a row? He's like, man, I just got a divorce. Let's just win the whole fucking thing. And he's like, hell yeah.
There's only one thing left to do.
Yep.
Set. Win the whole fucking thing.
Yep. There we go.
Guys, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm pissed. We deserve better. I'm never going to say tank because we can still, sadly, do you think the Falcons are going to win the division? Do you think the Saints are going to win the division? Panthers? Yeah, just have to win the division. I literally just said that. So if you win the division, get in the dance. Let's see. Let's see what the hell happens. And get Tom Brady in the playoffs. Get this defense healthy into the playoffs. I think things can happen. Even though we're at a down point, we're 3-5, you still have plenty of stuff to work with. So I'm not going to say we're out of it just yet, even though a lot of people want to say that and start tanking and who's our first pick. Come on, guys. Right, we still can make a big run here.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll find out a lot about this team this Sunday.
Gotta keep us away from the hard stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. That is true. I think I said that on the last live stream. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I want to keep that up there, but yeah, I mean, this is it coming into this Sunday against the Rams. We're going to find out what this team is about, how much they care, and see if this coaching staff has made the adjustments and has this team ready to go from a game plan standpoint, and if the players are locked in as well and focused and ready to do this week in and week out consistently from now on. That's gonna have to be the case. I mean, again, you're at home. You can't lose home games. This is the week before you go to Germany. So you got to find a way to win this week against a Rams team that is not the same that we've seen in the past. Obviously, they have their issues, and again, we'll touch more on that later in the week. But it's go time. It's time to either you're going to turn this around or you're just going to keep on falling, and losses will pile up.
Let's be honest. What better time to start doing it? You have a team in the Rams that aren't looking that good right now. I mean, Cooper Kupp may not even play. If he does, he's going to have a bum ankle. There's a team that you are pissed about from last year. They're the ones that beat you, kicked you out of the dance, and ended up winning the Super Bowl. You want your revenge. Tristan Wirfs wants to play in this damn game. He's another leader that I'm happy to be on this damn Buccaneer squad that I guarantee is going to go all out in this game. You hopefully getting all your defensive guys back besides Shaq Barrett. Get after it. I mean, this is a game where there's emotion behind it. They don't want to lose them more. You're at home. There's no better way to start saying, forget this shit. We're going to make our own destiny. We're going to start winning. Like Swords and Cannon's Buck podcast said, Giselle and Brady no more. Divorce is final. I know it was weaning over his head. It's done. It's open. It's out in the open. Let's move forward and let's go. Yep. That's how it's got to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we appreciate everyone in here. Be sure to hit that like button. And if you missed, the first half of the show, we went over some film. We talked about the offense a lot. Mainly the first 45 minutes of this show was on the offense. Because let's be honest, guys, that is the issue for this team. It's been the issue over the last several weeks where if this team just scores 24 points per game, we're probably 5-3 at the least, maybe 6-2. So, there are certain things where they have to pick it up a lot. Defense has to do some little things better. Like I mentioned, third down defense, red zone defense, all that stuff has to get better. Ken Smith, we see you in here. We appreciate the super sticker, man. Thanks for joining in here. And yeah, man, we appreciate all the support. So you guys are awesome. We appreciate all the newcomers in here. Swords, Cannons, and Bucs podcast. We appreciate you, man. This is great stuff.
Brady went as the Grim Reaper for Trick or Treat.
Yeah, absolutely. I should have pulled up that picture. Andrew has to top Ken. It always happens. There we go. Andrew with the $10. We appreciate it, man. You're always supporting us. You're always giving us those great paragraphs for comments. We love it. Sometimes novels. We love the novels. So we appreciate you, man. Every one of you guys, thank you so much.
This is the true group. This is the guys that are ride or die. That doesn't matter how much piss the damn Bucs make you. You're gonna get in there. You're gonna get involved, and you're gonna say, "I want to see better. I want to, at the end of the day, see a win on my team." And I'll trash them until they change the subject and make me start applauding them again. That's how it is. I mean, it's what have you showed me lately? And you've shown me shit, but I know you can show me better. And that's just it. If there wasn't good players on this team, I'd flat out say it. Like, we ain't gonna win. Ain't no chance.
Yeah.
Like with the Winston days, so I'm like, he's gonna throw it right to the other team. I was just like, we're watching nothing. This is a team that can win every damn game, and they just aren't showing it. I just can't believe they lost the Steelers and Panthers back to back.
Yeah. Well, with that said, Mark, I'm going to leave it with this. The Buccaneers did make moves over the weekend. They brought back Super Bowl champion players. So that means this team is ready to go. We are ready because guess who is back better than ever. Yes, he is back. They're both back. Tyler Johnson, the receiver that the people demanded to stay on this team. He is back and better than ever, ready to go. And also the 2016 draft pick that this guy right here speaking nailed as the 4th round pick for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Ryan Smith. This guy is a legend on special teams. He's going to be that smooth criminal that the Buccaneers needed. And yes, he is back. That is awesome to see. So they're back on the practice squad. We'll see if they make any type of impact coming up this week, if they are activated or not. But yeah, it's good to see the number 18 back on the roster. We'll see if he can make some plays. They'll probably use him as a blocker to help out Chris Godwin. So now defenses won't know if the Bucs are going to run the ball when Johnson goes in motion and Godwin's on the outside. Who knows? There's a lot of things that could happen. But yeah, just a little comedy there to end the show. I don't have anything else. I'm just gonna. I guess we'll roll on out of here, unless you wanted to say anything on that end.
No, other than that, guys, Ryan Smith, is a great special teams player, even though he was joking about a lot. He's not going to see much starting time. He better not see starting time.
Yeah.
But hey, it's just familiar faces brought back to the practice squad. Player moves. I know people want to see movement. There it is. Other than that, don't jump ship just yet. The guys are in the chat. Hit the like button if you haven't just yet. Help support the channel. Well, you guys are amazing. You guys bring the questions. You guys are the show. We always say that. We just want to win, just like you guys do too. But you got to show it. You got to see the effort. You got to see the scheming, the sequencing. Just show progressions week in and week out, like he has to say it. This is the last time I'll say it. Yeah. But Leftwich has to coach better. Defense has to hold on a little bit longer, and hopefully those additions with the defensive line and just defense in general coming back healthy will help out. Antoine Winfield Jr., huge coming back. But guys, thanks for all the comments, the jokes, the funniness. Maybe we can get a win this week. How about that? That'd be real awesome for us.
Absolutely. So with that said, guys, thank you so much yet again. I'm going to go back to watching Game of Thrones because it's freaking awesome. This is my first time watching it. Yes, I haven't lived, so I'm starting to live my life, and I'm going to watch more of that. It's really good. And everyone, as always, go watch Cobra Kai because that is the best show in the world. It's awesome.
He's not lying.
So again, everyone have a great night. Go Bucs, and we'll see you on the next one.
Go Bucs.